to the post-launch session. It's a great pleasure for me to introduce Dr. Sahaya. She's a DCH and Diploma in National Board of Family Medicine with PGD, who is very much involved in the Department of Distant Education in CMC Vellore. Whoever has gone through distant education, I think everybody knows Dr. Ambarasi. And I'm very sure you will enjoy this session. In fact, I attended today's session for her only. So, now, back to you. Thank you.
Shall we start the session? So, in this session, many odds are against me. First is like post-lunch, difficult time, and most of you have traveled yesterday night. It's first one. And second is, this topic is a very, very vast topic. And I have a clock ticking behind me. Fourth is, I'm not much of a speaker. And I have a phobia for heights. Not about the mountain climbing. I've never climbed mountains. But I have a fear for the stage. You know, at the ground level, I'm more comfortable. So to begin the sessions, do we need time to settle in? Can we start? Is it okay to start? So this is care of a newborn for the family physician. And after being a pediatrician for a time, and I have realized the importance of family medicine in India. And what I have realized over the years is the way a family physician looks at pediatrics is different from what a pediatrician looks at pediatrics. Right? So what are we going to do is, how do I, a primary care physician, make a difference when I handle a newborn baby? This is what we are going to speak. May not be very theoretically enriching, but I feel it is practically very, very important to know how a family physician looks at pediatrics in the scenario of our country. So, care of the newborn. And when we talk about care of the newborn, the care of the newborn starts long before the baby is conceived. How many of you agree with me? Thank you. And because when a mother conceives a baby, the mother's will and the mother's attitude and the mother's social environment plays a big part in the growth of the baby. We all know that. And it continues to the antenatal period. And it also, how the mother is taken care of during the antenatal period, this is very, very important for a newborn's outcome. We all know that. And this is, the famous picture. Okay. So these children were named with a single name because they were born during a night of a storm in a single hospital. And neonates in India, you know that, right? 75,000 babies are born in India every day. That accounts for around 8,000 babies in an hour. Okay? Sorry, 3,000 babies. And in that, 75,000 babies die in the neonatal period in a day. That works out around 85 deaths in an hour. It is more than one baby for a minute. And our country, though it has made a lot of difference in the recent years about the infant mortality rate, the many schemes and training the traditional birth attendants has made a lot of effort in the country's scenario. Still, our country contributes to 26% of the infant mortality rates in the country, in the world. So if we think about what are the reasons for this neonatal mortality rate, it's not, it is not because of the advanced fancy hospitals with very costly equipments that causes neonatal mortality, but very simple things. Taking care of the girl children, taking care of the literacy of the girl children, and taking care of the marriage age, and taking care of the anemia of the mother. taking care of finding the high-risk mothers in the community. And if you can see, the first reason, that is around 33% is prematurity. And if you can see if you can think about the reasons for prematurity, one is we all know, prematurities, most of the babies are termed as idiopathic, and we know that is maternal infections and low maternal age, infections in the mother, and that is the reason for prematurity. Second, if you see, it is infections, around 33%, if you see what are the infections that cause a neonatal death, pneumonia, diarrhea, sepsis, okay, which are easily preventable. That is the second one. Third is asphyxia. Asphyxia, when finding the delivering at homes and delay in transporting the babies. That is the third reason. And it is only 9% which causes deaths is congenital anomalies. So this is what UNICEF says. The key to child survival is the age of the mother, her educational level, spacing between the children, gender discrimination, and access to improved sanitation, drinking water. This made a difference in neonatal mortality rate, not the advances we have made in neonatology. And this was the news to me. Still, though the average age of girls' marriage in India is 22, still, if you can see, it is, in 69% in rural areas are married before the age of 16. This is 2014. So this is before birth, taking care of a neonate before birth, before even the baby was conceived. Suppose a girl gets married at the age of 16, what will that girl do with a poor iron stores and an poorly developed pelvic bone? And what can she do? She can produce only babies who are prone to develop sepsis, babies who are IUGR babies. She herself is a child, right? So the way she brings up the children and the way she takes care of the health of the baby, what does she know, right? So that is the first part. Second is, at the time of birth, how do I take care of a neonate as a family physician or a primary care physician? How do I take care of the baby? One is, as we saw, the most important causes are, one is infection, second is asphyxia, right? Infections, we all know about this 5 C's. Okay. Clean hand, clean surfaces, clean blades, clean car tires, and clean car stump. These are the 5 C's we have to be aware of, and we have to train our healthcare workers to do this. This is very, very important, because the well-being of the neonate depends on this. And second is asphyxia. I feel very strongly that every primary care physician should be very, very comfortable about neonatal resuscitation, because we are in a place where the others cannot come and deliver a quality primary care. It's not difficult. Intubation is not a difficult skill at all, because intubation in a child, in a baby, is really very, very easy compared to intubation in adults. Very, very easy. Because when a baby is, flaccid, you have your vocal cords already in a semi-cadaveric position. It is very, very easy to intubate, and the fear for the skill should not prevent us from learning the skill, because it is one life-saving skill a primary care physician can do. And another thing is, the most important thing that a primary care physician do for a neonatal care at the time of birth is saving the mother. That's very, very important. If you do not save the mother, who will take care of the baby? I remember one day when I was working in Jharkhand, you know about the health status of Jharkhand. I was doing my community postings and I was doing my dependent being at that time. So it was a mother, she was in labor for a long time and she has bled for a long time, and when they brought the mother, she was pale as a paper. She took 1 or 2 cabs and she passed away. They laid her on the table and she passed away. And we tried resuscitating, came out, and we saw 2 children, maybe 2 years, 3 years. Who will take care of the children? Suppose the mother is dead and a neonate is born. What you can talk about neonatal care? The most important part of a family physician in neonatal care during birth is saving the mother, taking care of the mother. So this is is about neonatal resuscitation. I just put this slide because I just want to show it's very, very simple steps. It's not complicated at all. Now, after the baby is born, so yeah, he's quite has a quizzical look on his face. It's not Photoshop, it is a real expression. So basically, what does a baby need? How do we take care of a newborn? Baby need feeds, right? That is very, very important. Second is need warmth. Third is a baby needs clean surroundings. Fourth is, of course, he needs lots of love, right? So this is the basic needs of a baby. And why the babies need all these things is, how do babies differ from adults? Large surface area, of course, yes. That's why they lose their heat very fast, body heat very fast, yes.
Transition period.
Transition period, yes, they have a transition period to cross over, of course, yes. Exactly, they do something called non-shivering thermogenesis, where they utilize their brown fat to produce heat. So that is one thing, yes?
Obligate nasal breathers.
Pardon?
Obligate nasal breathers.
Obligate nasal breathers, yeah, okay.
Immunity.
Pardon?
Immunity.
The immunity is very, very low compared to adults, and that indirectly depends on the blood volume of a neonate. So I have quite 5.5 liters of blood, and I'm standing here talking. And these small fellows, they have 80 ml per kg of blood, and a very good-sized baby in our country, 3 ml, 240 ml, and even if he uses all the WBCs to stamp on an organism, he may not be able to. And he has a very small volume of blood to dilute the infection that has gone inside, the small volume of a baby. And the presence of brown fat and the way they create heat by non-shivering thermogenesis and their poor glycogen storage in the liver. So they need feeds. So if they don't get feeds, they go into hypoglycemia. Okay, so these are the basic needs, and of course, like everybody, not only newborn, everybody needs love, right? So they need love to take care of them, and this is what. Also, we know the size matters. The needs and the complications of a small baby is quite different from a large baby. And we know when you see a large baby, we call them IDM or LGA babies, which are most commonly IDM, infant of a diabetic mother. So their needs are different. They will go for hypoglycemia, they can go for a prolonged, very severe jaundice, they can develop polycythemia. That is their problems. If it is a small baby, IOGA baby, because they are so small, they can go for hypoglycemia, less glycogen storage, they can go for hypoglycemia, they can go for hypocalcemia, So lots of other things that they play a role. So as a primary care physician, when I get a baby in the newborn period, what are my responsibilities? You are practicing clinicians, you know what are my responsibilities when I get a newborn in my OPD. Or what are the common conditions or complaints or concerns with which the baby is brought to you? Yeah, crying continuously, exactly. So somebody who's really experienced this speaking, yes. It is always too much or too less. He cries too much, doesn't cry at all. He passes, I'm getting a word kaka, I'm sorry. He's passing stools very frequently or he's not passing at all. He's passing urine very frequently or he's not passing at all. Too much or too less, yes. Okay, we'll come to that later, sorry, I missed this slide. So as a responsibility, when I see a newborn, first thing is I have to examine him thoroughly. Okay, to look for something hidden anomaly like a cleft palate or imperforate anus, thorough examination, and I have to reassure the parents, your baby is absolutely fine. And breastfeeding. Breastfeeding is one area where most of the mothers struggle, especially if they are primaries. If they feel that they are not capable of doing it, that preparation has to be done in the antenatal period, and we know that. And family interactions, managing the concerns, and in our country we especially deal with somebody called mother-in-law, right? So it is not the problem of the mother, usually it is a mother-in-law problem. We call it mother-in-law syndrome, I'll come to that later. So even if the mother is convinced, it is difficult to convince the mother-in-law. And common complaints like eye discharge and stuff, and identification of the red flags, immunization, road to health chart. I would say, if I can think about the responsibilities I have for a baby in a neonatal period, I would say these are the responsibilities. Some points in examination: it should be quick, warm, and complete. Head circumference, palate, and anus, they can be missed. Imperforate anus can be missed. Do not assume, it's very, very important. Ear anomalies. If you have a ear anomaly, think about renal anomalies first and think about cardiac anomalies. Just write in the bar, baby has an accessory auricle or accessory tag, will need a renal scan later. Just write in the chart and keep. That is one very important. If it is limb anomaly, it is cardiac defects. Think about the cardiac defects. A normal variation can cause a lot of anxiety. You know, very small thing. He has an extra digit. It is not good for the family. You know, that cultural aspects may have a very great impact in the care of the baby. It is not good for the maternal uncle. It is not good for the paternal whatever. So all these things. And another thing is, never ever miss hypothyroidism. I know there are people who are coming from the states where you routinely do a neonatal screening, right? In Kerala, you do a routine neonatal screening. But there are places we don't do. In CMC, they do a routine neonatal screening. But there are places we do not do a thyroid screening. That's what one of the professors in endocrinology in CMC used to say. Even if the doubt of hypothyroidism just passes your mind, just do a TSH. It's only 400 rupees, but you give a life back to a child, right? If you start early, you are giving back the intellectual life to the child. So it is very, very important. So head circumference, you should be really careful. I'm racing against time. So you have to be really careful. Once I saw a student, I was an examiner for him, and there was a child with LRI, just an LRI. That was a case that was for his exam, and it was like what he's supposed to do is classify the illness according to MNCA guidelines, and he said it is of variant asthma. Okay, so but he was not able to measure the head circumference. So that is, head circumference makes a lot of difference. Can reduce the anxiety, in the family. So we have to be, as family physicians, we have to be really comfortable and confident about where to wear. Very simple things. Sorry, you know that. But where to wear, how do I, and what is the normal value? How much of increase I expect in a single year? That is very, very important. And these are the ear anomalies I told you about. That is a low set ear, and you know that. How do we identify a low set ear? Okay. Some books say outer canthus. Most of the books say it is the line drawn from the inner canthus. So this is your digit anomalies. And can you, this one? Yes? They can come with this. Yes? Yeah, this is Epstein's fault. It's a very normal thing. This is the example of very normal things causing unnecessary anxiety. No, it's a ballistic. And this is, it's a cleft palate. Always, when you have a baby with cleft lip and micronathia, please especially look for cleft palate. That is very, very important. This is, we need not remember this, it's Spear-Robin syndrome. This is when a child has a cleft lip, look for cleft palate. When a child has a micronathia, look for cleft palate. If we do not identify cleft palate, you can get aspiration pneumonitis. Yes. This is one of the examples of normal variation causing unnecessary anxiety. Yes, you are right. Somebody is saying the answer. Neonatal teeth. Neonatal teeth. Neonatal teeth has a lot of beliefs, and that's one of the examples. It's not good for the maternal uncle if somebody is born with a neonatal teeth. And the problem for us is primary care physicians medically is, if the child has a loose teeth, the child can develop aspiration pneumonitis, pneumonia, and the teeth can be removed only by endoscopy. So if it is loose, it should be removed. And also we know it is not in the consistency of the teeth. The consistency will be like a nail, our hard nail. Okay. So this is another natal teeth. So we said these are the priorities of primary care physician. We have talked about examination, breastfeeding. And I'll not talk about this topic because we know it's an extensive topic. Reassure the mother that her milk is sufficient for the baby. This is where the mother-in-law syndrome comes. The mother-in-law comes and says, she doesn't have milk, doctor. She doesn't have. I have seen her. I have seen thousands of babies. She does not have milk. Let her give some powdered milk. I do not know why. It always happens. It is a mother-in-law who says like, So, we'll come to that. So the breastfeeding, talking about the cultural beliefs, what to eat, what not to eat, cold food, hot food, you know about that. The child will develop gas. All those concerns should be addressed by the family physician. And we have come to the common complaints. And meconium, when do we expect the child to pass meconium? Before how many hours? Yes? 24 and urine? 48 hours, yes. So if the child has not passed meconium within 24 hours, what do we do? What are the things we think of? They brought the child. The child has not passed meconium. Yes? Imperforate is fine. You look for imperforate is fine. Hypothyroidism, very good. That's one indicator of hypothyroidism, fine. Pardon? Down syndrome, I'm not sure of that. Maybe, I'm not very sure. Yeah. Yes? Hitzbrun's, yes. One question, one practical question. How was the like? If he has passed, he has done the job inside the uterus, why should he come outside and pass? So ask him, how was the like? If the like was clear and the child has not passed meconium within 24 hours, think about all these things. This will be a very good, pointer to find out your hypothyroidism. Cystic fibrosis is present in our country, but relatively rare compared to the Western countries, right? So, another question about this passing stools, because I do not know, it's one of the common concerns of a mother, you know that, right? So, yeah, this is the normal meconium, you know that. And this is transitional, transissing, and this is the normal neonatal stool, because it has lot of concerns, I tell them, what I do is, I keep it. Have you seen the yellow color paper, the golden yellow color paper in between the X-ray sheets? In olden days, used to have that yellow paper between them. I used to keep the paper on the table. I used to tell them, is your child passing stools in this color? They will say, yes doctor, exactly the same color. So they kind of get an idea, okay, this doctor understands what I'm trying to say. So if you show the color and tell them, even if he passes 20 to 40 times, with the consistency of butter, because he's drinking his milk and that is coming out, right? So if it looks like in North Indian, if it is a Makkanse, if it is like butter and it is in golden yellow color, exactly the same color, your child is perfectly alright, okay? Seriously, these are small matters but cause a lot of concern. And this is also a breastfed child. When the stool is exposed to air, it can become green in color. Please assure them it is normal. Okay? This is meconium plug. If child has Hirschsprung disease, after some 24 hours or 48 hours, slowly he will pass this meconium plug. Just record this in the child. It can be normal also, but later it may have implications. If the child has passed a meconium plug, it may be Hirschsprung's. This is okay. This is one normal concern. The child has passed urine. It's a normal urine. It's because of exposure of urate crystals to air. It has become pink. It is actually a normal thing. Just do a urine examination. Reassure the patients. And this is a girl child. Had some vaginal discharge, which is bloody, and it's a great concern, right? So what do we tell them? Normal. Okay. The pediatrician whom I worked with, they used to say, that means your young baby has got everything proper, her hormonal axis is better and the uterus is perfectly formed. And they become very happy when you say that. 30%, textbook says it's called genital crisis in some of the textbooks. They, just explaining to them in a good term will help them to understand. Yeah. And, Then we said, how do you reassure a mother or mother-in-law that the baby has enough milk? How do you explain? Yes, urine output, yes. Weight gain, yes. Sleeping well, yes, these 3 points. If the baby can sleep 2 to 3 hours after a good feed, if the baby passes adequate urine, that urine, no, it never goes out of this thing, popularity. How many times does he pass it? After he passes how many 100 times, okay? Whatever goes inside, come outside, right? Comes outside. So they will be really convinced that they are having good feed and the weight gain. And you know, they lose 10% of the weight in the first 1 week and they start gaining 20 to 30 grams a day. And you know the one. So this is the mother-in-law syndrome. You have to convince the mother-in-law. And usually in our country, they stay with the mother in the first 3 months. That is okay, yeah. This is, he cries while passing urine. Yes? It's a normal thing. How do we explain?
Abnormal sensation later.
Yes. If the stream is good, and if you look for a prepuce is normal, there is no phimosis and the stream is good, especially in a male child, you can, and if the baby starts crying before passing the urine, that's fine. But if there is an irritable cry while passing the urine, you may have to do a urine micro. Okay. And eye discharge. Eye discharge, what is the normal eye discharge? What is abnormal eye discharge? Yes? Pardon? Color of the discharge, exactly. Suppose if the discharge is watery and if there is no congestion, it is usually what we call it congenital obstruction of nasolacrimal duct. Some people say COLD, cold, just cold, you know. So that is eye discharge. But probably I have seen my ophthalmology neonatorum years before in Jharkhand. I have seen one child. So do we get ophthalmology neonatorum anywhere in the places you work? Any in the recent years? No. Okay. So if you have an ophthalmology neonatorum, especially when mother has a gonococcal infection, the baby is born with thick purulent discharge with conjunctival hemosis. Okay, we know the WHO guideline. It is just give a IM ceftriaxone 125 milligram. It is you see the guideline in WHO, and hourly we used to give penicillin drops. You can use the prophylaxis eye drops. Vomiting. How do you convince a mother who has brought a child with vomiting? The same thing, weight gain, right? If the child is gaining weight well and thriving well, you need not worry about the vomiting. And if the vomiting is projectile, male child starts at the 2nd week and there is a visible gastric peristalsis, or if the vomit is bile stain, then it is a red flag. And yellow discoloration. Yellow discoloration. Jaundice. So how do we convince the mother and what are the red flags for a primary care physician?
Within 24 hours.
Yes. We have something called Kramer's criteria. You are aware. That is one good thing. Visually, if you especially work in a resource limited area, Kramer's criteria will be really good to find out the level of bilirubin in a child. And I would say after the referral criteria for a primary care physician who cannot do a bilirubin is, one is at any time if the level of jaundice, the level of icterus is beyond the abdomen, if the palms and soles are yellow, and if the jaundice begins, if the begins before 24 hours and persists beyond 2 weeks, there's a time to investigate. Okay. So but you can reassure the mother, even if it persists beyond 2 weeks, it may not be, a dangerous cause. You're poor feeding, and breast milk jaundice, they can be G6PD deficiency, big cephalhematoma, they can cause the jaundice to persist beyond 2 weeks. But we should also remember, one of the presenting features of hypothyroidism is persistent physiological jaundice. So we have so many points about hypothyroidism. If the child is lethargic and he looks dull, it's not active, and he has a monotonous cry, like typically you can find out the cry, and the usually newborn like that will be the newborn cry, and that is an expressionless cry, very typical. Even if you see 10 babies and he is sitting there and making that cry, okay, please do a TFT, we can tell the person in charge. And prolonged physiological jaundice, umbilical hernia, these are the pointers of neonatorum. Okay. This is rashes. This is This is one of the common complaints. What is that? Sorry, I'm asking very basic questions, I understand. Yes? Pardon? This is erythema toxicum. Do we have it's probably another name. Erythema toxicum is one of the very common rashes we see in the neonatal period. And before saying it is erythema toxicum, just check whether they have been dressing the child with unwashed dresses, because the new dress is stiff with the factory dyes and stuff starch. Please ask them to wash it. Ask them not to use a rubber sheet which can cause an allergy. And this is another common skin manifestation. This is napkin dermatitis. Napkin dermatitis. Ask them not to wash, and you know this thing. This is one of the skin conditions they frequently come with. This one. This is milia. This is miliaria. Okay, and this is Mongolian spots. These are few of. There is one site. If you can go to that site, they have put very beautiful neonatal pictures. It's called Stanford Hospital website, and you can go to the nursery. It's a subdivision of Stanford Hospital. Very beautiful pictures, and you do not need a permission. Everybody can view the thing. It's very good. It's really good. And this is one of the very common concerns in neonatal period: pustular rashes. Pustular rashes, and can you tell me the name? It is, I can say it's a pustular rash. What is the proper name? Yes? Bullous impetigo. It's a bullous impetigo caused by staphylococcus. This is what we get in children. It is impetigo contagiosa caused by streptococcus. As this impetigo contagiosa can cause glomerular nephritis, but your bullous impetigo is common in neonatal period. If not treated properly, you get 4S, Staphylococcus scalded skin syndrome. It can be quite quick. So the standard guidelines say if you see less than 10 pustules, give a topical ointment. More than 10 pustules, please start on anti-staphylococcal antibiotics. So this is a site, Stanford. These pictures are from the Stanford School of Medicine. To that here. So common complaints. Identification of red flags. Red flags is difficulty in breathing and grunting and seizures, cyanosis, sick-looking baby, fever and hypothermia, distended abdomen, pustular rashes, we saw it. Difficulty in breathing in newborn, what can be the causes? Yes, I'm going to finish now. Yes. I didn't have a warning bell, right, at 10 minutes. Difficulty in breathing, I'll quickly go through. If it is a preterm, we know it is HMP, like high-level brain disease. If it is a first-term meconium strain like that, it is meconium aspiration syndrome. If it is delivered by, if the baby is delivered by cesarean section, can be a transient tachypnea of newborn if the child is really active and not cyanosed, right? And these are the medical causes commonly. One thing is the baby can be very sick and have a medical illness, that is congenital pneumonia, especially if the mother had UTI in the last trimester. And the surgical causes of difficulty in breathing can be diaphragmatic hernia, bilateral choanal atresia, and tracheoesophageal fistula. So these are the things you have to have in mind when we see a baby in primary care if the baby presents with difficulty in breathing. Other things, metabolic acidosis of sepsis, if the baby is really looking sick, or if the baby is asphyxiated baby, the baby can have difficulty in breathing. Grunting baby, grunting, how does grunt sound? Is it a good sign or a bad sign? Bad sign? Suppose if grunting disappears, it's a good sign or a bad sign? Bad sign? Bad sign? Bad, okay. Why do we say bad? Why do we say good? Grunting actually, he's trying to ventilate himself. He's closing the glottis partially, and he's trying to increase the pulmonary pressure, and he's trying to breathe against resistance. So if he stops grunting, it means that he has become better. And he's looking pink, and you know that he's clinically becoming better. If the grunting stops in the other end, he's too tired to make, he cannot do anything. If the child is really looking sick, looking cyanosed, then we know that he's becoming better. And sick-looking baby is very important. That is, when we look at the babies, and it is a skill we need to develop. It's a cognitive skill we need to develop. And fever and hypothermia, it's very, very important. And we have finished this. Yes. And immunization, I cannot talk about the importance of it. And also, when a baby is born, it is our responsibility to initiate them into the road to health child. We will know not only the condition of the baby, also we will know about the society that surrounds the baby. Like, once a health worker identified a straight line in the road to health child, we went back to the village, we identified the child with the primary complex and also a grandma with open tuberculosis. So road to health child is a very, very important thing for a pediatrician to initiate the family to. Then, So this is the summary of neonatal care I want to tell you. It's a responsibility of a primary care physician or a primary care pediatrician is to take care of the mother first from her childhood. The cycle goes on. And take care of the mother when she is in antenatal period, and to teach the mother how to take care of the baby, and also to take care of the family which surrounds the baby, so that the baby will grow with good health, good society, and is surrounded by love. That's what I want to say. Yes. Hypothermia, hypoglycemia, apnea. These are the most common. Temperature instability, I mean, that's what we meant by hypothermia. So he is close to the mother's chest, and he is tied to the mother's chest, and his skin touching the mother's skin. And now he has the enough stimulation. Whenever he breathes, it is like stimulating the baby. His apnea is taken care of, and warmth, So he is always close to the mother, and because the mother can feed the baby when she is doing kangaroo mother care, there is no chance of hypoglycemia. And they said it is like, because it is too simple, like ORS, which has saved thousands of lives. It is too simple, right? It is so simple and beautiful. Like kangaroo mother care is one of the things which has taken many babies out of ventilators, and it has spared a lot of lakhs of and crores of rupees expense. And if the baby is first, the most important thing about kangaroo mother care is the baby should be, more than 34 weeks, and the baby should be around 1,800 grams. There are various guidelines, 1,800 grams, and the mother should be ready to do that. The mother should be mentally and physically, she should be ready to do that. Fathers can do KMC, we know that, and so that is about KMC.
Regarding passage of stools, ma'am, mothers frequently come saying that they are not pass stool every 2 to 3 days.
Okay.
We reassure them.
Okay.
They go back, and after 1 week or 10 days again they come back. So, how long are we going to reassure them? Like,
How long? I do not know.
they want something because the child keeps groaning. After passage of stools, he'll be relieved and he's happy. So, in what way we are going to help the mothers in this case?
Okay. So one patient I had when I was working in training just long time before, that one of the staff's brother's baby, the baby, she said the baby is not passing stools once in a week. And when I was about to reassure her that this is normal for any newborn, he started crying it's considered like hypothyroidism. So we did a TSH, and the baby turned out to be a baby with hypothyroidism. Having that in mind, if the baby is looking normal and the baby is active and he is gaining weight, I would reassure the mother. How long? I do not have a very clear way of saying that. It changes. Eventually it becomes normal, but I'm not sure. I mean, if anybody else can give an answer. When does that change? I do not know. Yeah.
And quite commonly we encounter in our OP.
Yeah.
3 to 4 days they pass.
Should be absolutely fine. If they are say the child is clinically normal and your TFT, the remote suspicion of hypothyroidism ruled out, even if they pass 3 to 4, once in 3 to 4 days, up to 3 to 4 months, it is absolutely normal.
That is normal, but we are facing problem in reassuring the mother. So should we give something?
No.
To pass or just leave?
you should probably you should go. The explanation should be more extensive, but we are not supposed to give anything. We are not. There's no need. It's a way he is. It's a way he is. So you need not treat it.
Because if mother keeps recurrently visiting.
Yeah. Even then, it is only your explanation that matters. So you have to explain to her. You have to put out epidural. This can be a normal habit in a baby. Just reassure. That's it.
Surprising when I hear that every minute more than one neonate is dying. It's still a terrible statistics we are getting. So we have to look into that, and our service should start before a mother is becoming a mother. So pre-conception counseling, opportunistic promotion. And second thing is that addressing parental concern. So how to do that? The gentleman who is talking about it. So you need to be confident enough to deal with the maternal or paternal concern. So these two areas. Thank you very much. Thanks.